Bones need rest. They need to be fully rested and revived every night. And a lot of bones aren't getting that. And the best exercise for strengthening the bones is rebounding. Strength comes by exercise. There's no other way. We know that about muscles, and we often only refer to muscles, but bones are also strengthened by exercise.
Are you above 50 and starting to worry about weak bones or fractures? Well, you are not alone. Research shows that nearly 70% of adults over 50 experience a decline in bone density, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. This condition makes bones fragile and more likely to break, affecting mobility and overall quality of life. But how can you strengthen your bones and keep them strong as you age? Building bone density isn't just about taking calcium supplements. It requires the right combination of nutrients, exercise, and lifestyle habits. While aging naturally affects bone health, there are simple and effective ways to slow down bone loss and even improve bone strength. So, do you want to protect your bones and stay active for years to come? Stay tuned as we explore the best strategies to enhance bone density and prevent osteoporosis.
The ultraviolet rays from the sun hit the skin. Notice that? They have to actually touch the skin. But the rays that touch the skin that are pivotal in making vitamin D are UVB rays. And UVB rays do not come through glass. UVA rays come through glass, but it's the UVB rays that we want. When the ultraviolet rays from the sun, particularly the UVB, hit the skin, they convert a form of cholesterol just under the skin. Did everyone hear that one? A form of what? Cholesterol. Do you know what Dr. Malcolm Kendrick said in his book, The Great Cholesterol Con? And he's a cardiovascular surgeon, by the way. He said, for the first time, normal levels of a normal vital body substance is being called a disease. Ultraviolet rays, particularly UVB, from the sun hit a form of cholesterol just under the skin and convert it to vitamin D. And vitamin D is essential for the assimilation of calcium. And calcium is a very important part of the body. In fact, calcium is a very important part of the whole of life on planet Earth, and it's called the king. And because it's called the king, it's been misunderstood. Calcium's the king because when it gets in, all the other minerals piggyback on the back. And I've got some news for you. You might find it shocking news. Bones aren't made of calcium. Bones are made of 12 trace minerals and 64 minor minerals. So what are the 12? Calcium, boron, chromium, iron, magnesium, and manganese, and selenium, and silica, and sulfur, and potassium, and phosphorus, and zinc, and 64 trace, meaning 64 minor minerals. Now, understanding this, it's not rocket science, but what do bones need, students? Do they need calcium? Not by itself. So I've got some good news. You can save money by not buying any more calcium supplements. And the money you save, you can buy something that is one of the best ways to get salt into your body, or the minerals, which is Celtic salt. or it's getting hard to get, and apparently it's my fault. So you can get Baja salt is another one that's very, very similar. Celtic salt is hand harvested from Brittany on the French coast. Very pristine part of France. In fact, the French government have declared it a heritage zone.
Celtic salt is a type of sea salt that comes from coastal regions of France. It is harvested naturally without refining or processing, which allows it to retain a wide range of minerals. Unlike regular table salt, which is stripped of nutrients, Celtic salt contains magnesium, calcium, potassium, and trace minerals that play an important role in bone health. Bones need more than just calcium to stay strong. Magnesium is just as important because it helps the body absorb calcium properly. Without enough magnesium, calcium may not reach the bones efficiently and could even build up in soft tissues instead. Celtic salt provides magnesium in a form that the body can easily use, helping to direct calcium where it is needed. Another key mineral in this salt is calcium itself. While dairy products are often considered the best source, mineral-rich salts can provide small amounts that contribute to daily intake. Calcium from natural sources tends to be more bioavailable, meaning the body can absorb and use it effectively. This is important for maintaining strong bones and preventing conditions like osteoporosis. Potassium found in Celtic salt plays a role in keeping bones dense and strong. It helps reduce the loss of calcium through urine, which is a common issue when consuming high-sodium diets from processed foods. The balance of sodium and potassium in Celtic salt supports bone strength rather than weakening it. Trace minerals such as boron and strontium, present in small amounts, further support bone health. Boron helps the body use calcium and magnesium efficiently, while strontium has been linked to improved bone density. These minerals work together to create a strong skeletal structure, reducing the risk of fractures and bone loss over time.
So where else do we get those minerals? From dark green leafy vegetables. And dark green leafy vegetables are very high in these minerals. But to get all the minerals that we need, it's important that they be organic, because remember, the organic farmer, he works with the soil. And he works with the soil by encouraging the microorganisms in the soil. And it's the microorganisms in the soil that release the minerals from the dirt into the plant. That's why organic fruits and vegetables have a far higher nutrient content. So our skin needs to get the sun for our bones, because our bones need this vitamin D to be able to access particularly calcium, and when calcium gets in, all the other minerals are coming in as well. Now, the only exposed bone in the body are your teeth. That's right, your teeth. And how many people spend a fortune on their teeth? When my children were between the ages of, I think, the youngest was about 5 and Emma, she's my eldest, she was about 16. I took them to the dentist. I thought maybe I should have the dentist look at their teeth. And the dentist said, "Your children's teeth astonish me." I said, "Oh?" She said, "There is no decay. They are strong. One child has a little bit of decay where it's the way the teeth close together, the food gets stuck. But he said the teeth are so strong that the decay was arrested. And I did not give the children cow's milk." Cows get their minerals for their strong bones where? Grass. I've got some good news. You don't have to eat grass, but you can eat microgreens. You can eat kale. You can eat spinach, silver. And now, would you consider here down south, Tennessee? So you've got two things we don't have: lamb's quarters and collard greens. Is that what you have? Yeah, we never heard of those things, but I have to tell you, I love them. And the good news is that when you cook the greens, you don't lose the minerals. Some people say, what about the oxalic acid? You know, it's more to do when a person's eating a high acid diet. And in my book, Self-Heal by Design, there's a chapter on the acid-alkaline balance in there. So let me tell you a little bit more about the sun while we're here. Eyes. Eyes need sun because eyes bring sun through to the brain. And the brain needs sun. The ultraviolet rays from the sun go through neurochemical pathways, hit your pituitary gland, and that helps to bring balance back into the hormones. So that's where we again are looking at those 8 laws or 8 doctors of health or 8 laws of life. Also, Dr. Neil Nedley shows this, that when we're out in the sun, I don't suggest you look at the sun. Our eyes will tell us not to do that. But when you're outside in the sun, the rays are coming through. They're going through neurochemical pathways, hitting your pineal gland and helping you to sleep better at night. And they're also causing a release of serotonin. That's your mood hormone. So when I come from Australia to America, it's a big change. You see, Australia is probably just waking up now. So when I come over here, it's a huge change. And a lot of people suffer from jet lag, yeah? Well, the last time I came over, only one night. One night I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was bright-eyed for the day. And you know what I noticed? The 2 days before, it was raining all day. And the 3rd day, the sun came out. So I sat in the sun. And I sat in the sun for probably 3 periods through the day, about 5 minutes at a time. And that night I slept, and every other night I slept. I have found that when I can get outside and let the sun's rays come in through my eyes, it resets my body clock. And Dr. Neil Nedley, in his book, Depression: A Way Out, he claims that 80% of his depressed patients, their circadian rhythm is out. You've heard of the circadian rhythm? It's the rhythm that our brain runs at. And he found that the first hour of light in a day reset the circadian rhythm. So we've been scared away from the sun, but the sun is very, very important.
The sun plays a crucial role in bone health because it helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, the calcium we consume cannot be effectively utilised, leading to weaker bones and an increased risk of fractures. This is why people who spend most of their time indoors or live in areas with limited sunlight often suffer from conditions like osteoporosis. When we expose our skin to sunlight, specifically UVB rays, our body naturally synthesizes vitamin D. This vitamin then helps regulate calcium and phosphorus levels, ensuring that our bones remain strong and dense. In children, a lack of vitamin D can lead to rickets, a condition where bones become soft and malformed. In adults, it can contribute to osteomalacia, a disease that causes bone pain and muscle weakness. But sunlight does more than just help with vitamin D production. Studies have shown that exposure to natural light helps regulate hormones like cortisol and melatonin, which are essential for maintaining a healthy circadian rhythm. This in turn improves sleep quality, and good sleep is necessary for proper bone regeneration. Our bones are constantly breaking down and rebuilding, and much of this repair process happens while we sleep. Without adequate rest, the body struggles to maintain bone density, leading to a higher risk of fractures and bone loss over time. Additionally, sunlight exposure supports bone health by stimulating nitric oxide production in the skin. Nitric oxide helps improve blood circulation, ensuring that bones receive the oxygen and nutrients they need. Better circulation also supports joint health, reducing inflammation and stiffness.
So let's get back to the importance of looking after the bones. So let's go through those laws of health. Number 1, pure air. Yes, every Skin cell requires oxygen for it to function effectively, and we get it through pure air, which is breathing through the nose. Sunshine. I trust I have given you enough evidence to show the importance of having sunshine as much as possible. If you're not used to the sun, go cautiously. But we need a little bit of sun as often as possible. Number three law is temperance. Temperance is not taking anything into the body that will harm it, and taking in moderation the good things. So let me give you a list of things that are leaching minerals out of the body. Yes, it's one thing to put the minerals in the body. It's another thing to maintain your minerals by not taking things that are taking them out. And you might remember back to when we talked about the DNA, we talked about how the refined sugar leaches especially the calcium and the magnesium. And this is also very important for heart function. Calcium causes the heart to constrict, magnesium relax. Calcium constrict, magnesium relax. So the beating of the heart requires this nice balance of minerals to be taken into the body. There's no need to take refined sugar because we've got maple syrup, we've got honey. I think I heard Emma talk about a few sweeteners. There's so many sweeteners that there's no need to go to the refined sugar. Caffeine, called Australia's darling. I think it's America's darling too. It is also a big leacher of minerals, especially the calcium and magnesium. So when people are having these every day, and many do, and if you are a coffee drinker, please don't stop. You didn't think I'd say that, did you? Because you'll suffer. But in the book Caffeine Blues, Kachansky has a chapter called Coming Off the Bean. And he says, if you have 3 cups of coffee a day, start having 3 cups of coffee, but instead of a 1 teaspoon of coffee, you put half a teaspoon of coffee and half a teaspoon of something like Roma or Cafex. It won't taste any different, and your body will still be getting that little bit of caffeine. And every day, a little less coffee, a little more Roma or Cafex. And within a week, you can be off the coffee without any pain or suffering. Because we see it all the time at our retreat. One lady, she couldn't even get out of bed. Her headache was so bad. 1 cup of coffee a day. That's why when people say, do you drink coffee? I say, no, I just watch the people suffer. Day 1 at our retreats. That's enough for me. So you can get off the coffee without pain and suffering by doing that. Alcohol is another leacher of minerals, and one of the reasons why the calcium is probably the one that is taken out more than any other is because it is the most alkaline mineral. And a lot of these have an acid effect on the body. So to quickly calm that down, the body's pulling that calcium out of the bones in a form of calcium phosphate. And so we get this constant leaching. So the bones are getting thinner.
When the bones lose too many minerals, they become fragile and weak. This is why osteoporosis is such a major issue today. Many people think that simply taking calcium supplements will fix the problem, but that's not the full story. The key is not just putting minerals into the body, but also stopping the things that are actively pulling them out. If you're constantly leaching minerals through refined sugar, caffeine, alcohol, and processed foods, your body will struggle to maintain strong bones no matter how many supplements you take. Another important factor is hydration. Water is essential for every function in the body, including mineral absorption. If you're not drinking enough water, your body can't properly transport the minerals where they need to go, but not all water is the same. Tap water often contains chemicals like chlorine and fluoride, which can interfere with mineral balance. Spring water or filtered water is a better choice. Herbal teas, especially those rich in minerals like nettle or horsetail, can also support bone health. Exercise plays a huge role as well. Bones strengthen through use. When you put pressure on them through weight-bearing activities like walking, running, or resistance training, they respond by becoming denser. This is why astronauts lose bone mass in space. Without gravity putting stress on their bones, they weaken. The same happens to people who live a sedentary lifestyle. If you sit all day and don't challenge your bones, they gradually lose density. Another crucial factor is diet. A diet high in processed foods, refined grains, and artificial additives creates an acidic environment in the body. Since calcium is the body's most alkaline mineral, it gets pulled from the bones to neutralize the acid. Instead, we need to focus on a diet rich in whole foods, fresh vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and high-quality proteins. Dark leafy greens, sesame seeds, almonds, and seaweed are fantastic natural sources of calcium and other bone-supporting minerals. Sleep is also important. During sleep, the body repairs and rebuilds itself, including bone tissue. Poor sleep or chronic stress increases cortisol levels, which can contribute to bone loss over time. By addressing all these factors, reducing mineral leaching, staying hydrated, exercising, eating a nutrient-rich diet, and getting quality sleep, you can maintain strong, healthy bones throughout your life. It's not just about adding minerals, but creating an environment where your body can thrive. So there you have it. Strong bones aren't just about taking calcium supplements. It's about giving your body what it needs and avoiding what weakens it. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more health tips. And as always, take care and stay healthy.